right, TP fans. Today we have Domina Fire with us today, joining us on the podcast. Hello, how are you today?
I'm very good. I just had abused my bitch boy because I have with my sub here at the moment.
Oh, there you go, living the life. So, why don't you go ahead and do the honors and kind of introduce yourself to all our fans and listeners?
Okay, my name is Domina Fire. I'm a pro dom dominatrix now for more than 10 years. I'm a registered nurse by profession in the Philippines, but I just realized that my real calling is enslaving men. So here I am, enslaving boys.
There you go. You gotta love what you do. So that's really good to hear that you're living the life that you really want to live.
Yeah.
So, and it's also pretty cool that you're Filipina, and we're Trike
Yes.
Patrol, so we kind of attract ourselves to Filipinas very easily. So it's interesting. The way I found you was I saw a tweet from including Salome Salve and
Mhm.
Astro Domino, which I've dealt with the two in the past, and I know them very well. Very very cool people, and so I saw you
Mhm.
in there in the picture. So I said, wow, So I talked to I think Astro about it, and I asked if you were Filipina, this and that, and I said, could I possibly reach out to her? And she said, yeah, just tell her that I sent you. So here we are today. So again, thank you for joining us.
Oh,
And
you're welcome.
we're really interested to hear about what you do. So is there any of that? So that content that you shot with Astro and Salome, is there any of that content available for any of our listeners to check out?
Actually, yeah, I've also collaborate with other DOMs, and also most of because I'm basically more of a dominatrix, so most of my clips and then doing sessions with males. But I also have less of a few clips with Salome Salvi, like from the past.
Uh-huh. Oh,
But this is
okay.
the first time I collaborate with Astro Domina and doing
Yeah,
that
yeah.
clip.
Now, how was that experience? Dealing with those two. I mean, they're really great folks, and I really enjoy talking to them all the time.
So this is the first time I've met Astro Domina, and she's really a sweetheart, and I love working with her. But for Salome Salvi, this is not the first time. I've known her for like maybe 5 years now, and
Oh,
then we
wow.
do a lot of collaboration in the past. Yeah, and I just love to peg her.
Oh, yeah. She's quite the performer, and she really carries herself very well.
Yeah,
She's a very good performer, and we've had her on the site twice. So,
yeah.
again, yeah,
I've seen that in your website. Yeah.
yeah. So, how did you ever get into dominatrix?
Oh, well, I have a common friend, and then he has a friend, and he told me about this Dom, which her name is Saint Lawrence, and I've known BDSM when I was studying in college, but I've never experienced it firsthand until I met this Dom. And then the first time I watched her session, she handed me the whip, and then she told me there's a Japanese guy laying in the bed, and then she told me like, okay, whip him. I said, okay, and then I whip him, and then she's like, whip him hard. Oh, I gotta whip you. I said, okay. Then I whip him, and it was like crying, and it's just give me so excitement and like a power trip that I just love it. And then from that on, Domina Fire is born.
There you go. That's a great story. Now, so when you're filming or you're serving or you're dominating someone, what exactly is the scenario or the style of performing that you stick to? In other words, what exactly goes on in the
Because
bedroom?
for me, a BDSM is a broad spectrum. For me, it's not about the pain. It's not about, for me, it's about the control. It's about mind game. I think it gets me, I get that. There's two kinds of turn on for me. It's like when I'm making love with the person I love, that
Uh-huh.
sexually turns me on and it gets me wet. But if there's a power involved, like a total power exchange, it turns me on mentally and it gets me excited. That really, I think that that's like give me so much excitement and it gets me wet and that turns me on mentally. Yeah, it's because if someone submits to you fully mentally, everything will follow. You can push their boundary and then this. So that's what I really like the most. I'm not sure if you have seen my picture. I love pegging a lot. I've pegged a lot of males Asians, females, and I kind of feel like I feel like I'm a guy pegging someone. It's just like turns me on. I feel so sexy when I wear strap on and then this. So for me, yeah. If in terms of BDSM, like a lot of play, I love the pegging part, but most especially it's the mental play that turns me on most of the time.
Oh yeah, and I can see where you're coming from. For one, power really gives a person pleasure, right? So that makes a
Uh-huh.
lot of sense. When you have the power, a lot comes with
Exactly.
that.
Mhm.
Now, in the PI in the Philippines, is there a decent sized community of
Oh,
those? Oh, really?
yeah, it started like because I think I'm one of the pioneers here in the Philippines, and then when we're having lunches and then parties, events, we're only started like 25 people, and then now we're like started to grow more, and then a little bit, though it's becoming more younger generations,
Uh-huh.
but still growing. And then sometimes I organize events, and then there's one Dom's also organizing like a quite big parties here, and also been featured in national television,
Oh,
like the
wow.
King. Yeah, and I
Yeah,
was
that's
performing there too.
wow. That's really good to hear. Now, we know how the Philippines is. They're a little more conservative, and I know
Mm-hmm.
how difficult it could be when it comes to filming.
Mm-hmm.
Even I would even think any such parties or events that we probably should call it, that you might have been to or participated. You just have to be really discreet because
Not really, actually, not really. Especially, it started when there's a movie, 50 Shades of Grey. So everyone's like, okay, become open-minded on in the BDSM scene. But before, it's a little bit, yeah, like a taboo and like. But now it's okay. I don't feel I feel kind of safe doing things here because I've done crazy stuff here, like bringing my slaves out in public in collar and leash, putting him in this in Makati Avenue in this bar in Makati, and then he's on the floor licking my boots, and then that I've done crazy stuff here. But of course, I cannot do it in like in Dubai or in Thailand because I'm not comfortable. But here
oh
in my
yeah.
own country, Philippines, I can do it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to BDSM, I don't know a lot about it, but from my understanding, now San Francisco, California, is one of the major locations or cities that really cater to the community. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they're pretty local to where I grew up, and so I always kind of heard about the BDSM, and they have like the dungeon, I believe they would
Yeah.
call it. So yeah, I've never really been able to research a lot into it or look into it, but I do like that you brought up about the power because power for sure brings pleasure.
For sure.
So you've heard of TrikePatrol.com before, right?
I've heard it from Salome actually, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. She told me about that you guys contacted her doing film. So, and then just recently she told me that she's going to do it with you. So, yeah.
Yeah, because it's pretty funny because again I was on Twitter and I came across her profile and I
Mm.
contacted her. So it took like almost 2 years for her to actually submit anything, and she was actually
Yeah.
finally featured on the site about maybe 4, five,
Mhm.
6 months ago. So it took a while, but we finally was able to feature her, and it's pretty cool how everybody came together. Like when I saw your guys' picture on Twitter, you, Astro, and Salome, and it's cool that I dealt with those two, and now here I am talking to you. So it's really nice that we all kind of come together, support one another,
Uh-huh.
and so again I know how hard it can be, especially filming in the Philippines. So whenever I see somebody like yourself, that seems to be really successful and enjoy what they do from the Philippines, I really tip my hat and I try to support any way I can. So again, you're doing a really good job, and
Thank you.
I found your content to be very interesting. So I spent like a whole 30 minutes just kind of scrolling down and checking it out. So again, what are some other favorite parts of just doing this in general?
Oh, I
There's so
don't know.
much,
I mean,
right?
so much. It's like overwhelming because I love everything about it. I don't think I can live without it because I don't like to live it 24/7, but I have my own sub slaves living with me, and then I don't like it 24/7 because they are my slaves according to my mood. If I want to be, to be worshipped, but if I just like someone, if I just like a friend to talk to, they should be like that. So it will bores me to death if it's 24/7, but I need someone who can learn how to, to change their mood according to my mood and needs. Yeah.
Nice to hear. Nice to hear. So I'm curious, do you ever get noticed in public in the Philippines?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'll tell you, our fellow
And
Filipinos really they surf the web very often, and they come across they really know how to find their porn. So where are some spots that you were kind of chilling at or you were at, and then all of a sudden somebody did they actually come up to you and address you, or did they kind of just give you the looks?
pardon me, what's the question again?
Um, when you get noticed in public, do they
Oh my
go
God,
up
yes.
to you or?
Sometimes because there's one guy that like I had a session with him,
uh
real time session, and I'm with my friends, and then I saw him in Makati, I don't know where, like in a shop, and then he really wants to approach me, and it's like, bitch, don't approach me here because I'm with one of my friends, and it's like just give him a look like fuck off, don't go near me.
uh
But sometimes I just like I wanted this like a dating site or something, and then there's one guy who messaged me like, "Is this Domina Fire's?" Like, yeah, and just like, "Oh, you're like using Domina Fire's picture. I'm going to report." Just like, "Bitch, it's me." And it's like, "Oh my God, I've been contacting you like for a few years to meet you for a session, but then I just gonna see you here in like a dating site, like, and we just had a session." It's like, okay, so it's like happens a couple of times that these guys really notice it's me, and then it's like I don't even know them, and they're just like, okay, I know you. I've seen you like in Pornhub, or like it's in your clip or in your website, and then like, okay, I didn't know. I'm not like I didn't know.
Yeah, it's funny because if you ever heard of the name Shiranami, she's performed a couple times for us, and I actually asked her the same question. She got pretty popular as well, and she's in the Philippines. And I asked her if people would notice her, and she said, "Yeah." And I said, "Oh, so would they approach you, or would they just kind of give you looks?" She said, "No, well, they would come up to me and ask for pictures." So that was pretty funny. It's like, yeah, that's the Filipino dude culture for sure. So this community, so the members of this community, is it more based in Metro Manila or has it expanded out to like the provinces?
Because if you, I'm not sure if you've heard the website fatlife.com. They have like groups from different cities, and then I'm included in Manila, and I
Uh,
know the organizers of this one. But there's some more like in Cebu or Davao, but mostly the
the
people I
major
know are
cities.
yeah, in Manila.
Gotcha, gotcha. So
Mhm.
now, do you have any links that you would like to share with our listeners so they can find your interesting and awesome
Oh
content?
yeah, I have my own official website, which is dominafire.com. I also have my loyal fans, which they can find in loyalfans.com, Domina Fire, and then I am also have my website page, which is Domina Fire, and I want clips, which is just Domina Fire.
All right, and you are on Twitter, correct?
Yes, I am on Twitter, Queen D Fire / D Fire.
All right. So I want to give a big shout out to Astro Domina and Salome for for assisting for me to find you. And
Oh,
like I always
pleasure.
say, when I find somebody like yourself, a Filipina from the Philippines, that has the balls to actually come out and do what they love, especially in the Philippines, like a conservative country, I really tip my hat. And so I'm really happy that I came across you, and I'm really proud of what you become. So
Mm,
thank you so much. And
thank you.
never know, maybe hopefully we can get you on Trike Patrol somehow.
Oh, I would love that. Bring me all the girls I can pack.
There you go. Well, thank you again so much. And sorry about last night. I was kind of confused with the whole time zone.
I
I was kind
because
of like,
I
oh shit.
need to talk to you because I have like a session at 1 p.m. It's like I need to prepare.
Yeah, it's like I remember I had just messaged you say, hey, I look forward to to speaking to you. Thank you. And then I went to sleep, and you were probably like, what the fuck? So again, thank you and sorry about that. So
It's okay. It's okay.
so I
Thank
will
you so
be
much.
talking to you soon. Thank you so much.
Bye bye.
Take care.